Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm gonna go over Premiere Pro and the Pixilation project, or stop motion slash pixelation project, and general workflow and stuff like that. Okay, so I just opened up Premiere Pro. This is how it looks like. Initially, it may look a little confusing because you got one window here, the main one, okay, and then you also got this other kind of floating secondary window, okay. So it may kind of trip you out a bit. So all we're gonna do is uh, from here we're gonna go new project, okay, and then from here, right, it's kind of intimidating. You got a whole bunch of images. You got this little column of stuff going on. You got this column of stuff going on. Whole bunch of stuff. But you're just gonna ignore this, ignore that. Just look up here, and we're gonna give write down a project name. I'm just gonna put your name underscore pixilation. Okay, that's the name of the project. I mean, obviously you put your name in here. I just put this as an example, placeholder, and our project name. Next, project location. So you need a location, to store your Premiere project, and also to store your footage, your image sequence. I'd already done a test run, so just ignore that. All you're gonna do is go under here, click on the drop down menu, go to choose location, and this will pop up. Let me just make it a little bit smaller. It's just too huge, so you can kind of see better. And I'm just gonna go to documents. Right, so we're gonna put in your documents, and in here, under documents, okay, right click, and you're going to make a new folder. We're gonna name it your name, which is obviously what you're gonna have you're gonna type in your name, and then pixilation. So that's the name of your folder. Okay. So you need to choose a location, right, which is documents, but you also need to make a folder for it, right? Your name pixilation, that's the folder, and not to be confused with your project name, okay? This is a literal folder for it. And then you're gonna hit select folder, and there you go. C drive, users, blah blah blah, documents, your name underscore pixilation. This is the folder we just made. All right, and then from there you wanna just hit create. And you're gonna see this whole bunch of stuff here. And this one here, under Windows Workspaces, right now it's set to Essentials. Essentials. I guess we could leave it there. Yeah. Or we could just set it to Learning. Right. Learning is a little more simpler. A little bit more simpler. And then okay, so yeah, you see here workspaces, different types of whether it be essential setup or effects setup, editing setup, different setups, workstation setups. Okay, and then for now I just said to choose the learning setup. for the panels. It's just simpler for now. Okay, and then from here, let's look at the panels. Let's just review. So over here you have this is where you're just gonna dump your things, your footage, your sequences in here. And you see how it's named out. This is your media browser, basically where you can go in and dig through and find things and upload. But just ignore that. It's just gonna confuse you, you know. Because I remember I was confused. I was like, you got this, you got that, then you got this. Ignore this for now. This is important for later on. But projects. And let's say, for example, you don't have effects tab, right? Because to make things more confusing for you, the way it's set up, because I had effects open before, and previously before that it was not open, you know. And then previously before that there should be another another tab over here down below, where it should be for the a learning tab, another learning tab. I should just show it because people are gonna get confused. So, you know, hold on 1 second. All right, so I paused the video, right? And basically, if I remember correctly, this is how it should look like by default, right? When you first open up Premiere Pro for the first time, this is how it, from what I remember, should look like. Yeah, that's why you could kind of hear my voice where I was a little bit confused as to what to do, because it was slightly changed when I worked on it. Anyway, so when you first open it up, like I mentioned, the workspaces, learning, right? Because when you first open up Premiere, it will open up as the learning setup, okay? I'm pretty sure, because that's what it did for me when I opened up Premiere Pro 2024 for the first time. So you'll see this learn. Ignore this, okay? Close under here, this little 3 lines, close panel, right? It's only going to confuse us. And then from there you will have your within here, right? Like I mentioned, ignore the media browser, right? You're just going to focus on your project and then your name underscore pixilation, right? We just made. This is your timeline, which has nothing for now. This is your audio bar. Just ignore that, right? Ignore this, ignore that, just leave it there. And then here, what we're gonna do is, okay, not here, but let's go up here. We're gonna go edit, preferences, timeline, okay? Edit, preferences, timeline. Here we are. And from here, duration, 2 frames. It might have been set to seconds. If so, set it to frames. Still image duration 2 seconds. So basically, it's gonna set up so that each image that you took a photo of is gonna show twice. It's gonna double up. Then you hit OK. Right. And then from there, you're gonna go in here, okay, and you're gonna go to this guy right here. Really just small and just can't really notice it, but it's important. When you hover over it, it says new item. Right? Even the naming is really abstract. You click on that, and you're gonna choose sequence. This is, you know, really important to do. Gets the ball rolling. New sequence. And we're gonna go under setting, okay? Under editing mode, and we're gonna just set up as custom, okay? And then 24 frames per second. There's also 12, all right? But You see, I'm just wondering if it's gonna have the QuickTime format and also the Apple ProRes, because I'm not at school right now and I'm not sure, you know. So in this instance, you want to set to 24, okay, and then after that, frame size 1920 by 1080, okay, and then leave this alone. Display format should be also 24 frames per second. Leave this alone, leave that alone. Okay, preview file format, just set to iframe only, MPEG. That was what was set up in the PDF Premiere Pro document that came in D2L. And then we're gonna leave everything else alone, and then hit OK. All right. I think I'm also gonna attach this onto D2L. It's basically everything that I said, you know, listed. Okay. Except for this part right here. I skipped this part for now. Going to documents, making a pixelate your name pixelation folder. I did that a little bit later, but it's basically everything here is here. Yeah, and then also the thumb drive. You have to stick your thumb drive with your image sequence into your workstation computer, and then you have to copy the entire sequence, okay, into your pixelation sequence folder, which is located on your documents. All right, which you already made. Okay, so, and then from here, what we're gonna do next, we're gonna go in here, okay, we're gonna double click. All right, again, in here, double click, and we're gonna go to documents, where the hell are you? All right, your name pixelation here. Okay, I just made that, remember, and you notice there's nothing in here, right? It has this, well, we just made our project name, right? So you need to grab your sequences, and I generated a set of sequences. Okay, I put it on my desktop for now, so you could imagine this is yours, right? And here's my image sequence. I don't have stop motion sequence. I just decided to render out this animation that I did in 3D. Okay, the frames per second is not in 12, it's 24, so there's that discrepancy. Anyway, the important part is, right, we're gonna go back. We're in desktop, and this folder that I named, I'm gonna just copy it. Right? So this is your sequence that you had copied and pasted into your desktop, okay? And then from there, you're gonna go back into your documents, right? Because I'm still in my Premiere Pro floating window, see, under the import, and I just copied it, sequence. I'm gonna paste it into my pixelation folder, Control V. So here it is. So everything is organized, okay? And then I'm gonna double click that to go inside of it. And the important part is you select your first sequence, right? And then you could also make sure by going right click, view, details, all right? And then you could just click on the name. It would either organize it as the last one or the first one. We'll set that. And then all the way down to the very last one. Right? Make sure everything is in order, obviously. Alright, so you first select the first one, hold on, you click it, and then you hold on shift, and at the last one, you also click that. That way it selects everything, shift select. And then you're gonna go hit open, and it's all of it here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. But I don't like to keep on dealing with this list. So I'm gonna make a folder for it. New bin. I'm gonna name it image sequence. Right, and then I'm gonna grab all of these guys, press once. I'm gonna hold on shift. I'm gonna left click, so select all of it. And then I'm gonna left click and hold. That way it grabs it. I'm gonna move my cursor over here. I did not let go of my left click and hold. I did not let go. And hover over here, let go. So now it's kind of organized better. All right, that's organized. This is your sequence, which is this. But there's nothing in there for now. It's not populated. Anyway, open up my image sequence folder, select the first one, go all the way down, hold on shift, left click once, and then let go. Okay. Then this part is important. This part is very, very fickle. If you don't do it the right way, you're gonna get stuck in, you know. And then from here, I let go, right? Then my mouse cursor, I'm gonna hover over my last image. And then I'm just gonna also left click and hold, right? I'm gonna left click and hold. I'm not gonna let go when I click on it. I'm gonna left click and hold, okay? Then, right, remember I said you hover over your last image, right? And then you left click and hold, right? I'm pressing down my index finger and holding it. I'm gonna drag and I'm gonna drop it under my first track. See this right here? Right there. And make sure you're at the very last beginning. And then let go. And ta-da! There it is. And then you should zoom in. You know, you could press down Alt and then you can zoom in. Ooh. If you zoom in over here, if you hold on Alt and you hover over here, it does that. It's annoying. Yeah, or if you hover over here, it does that. And it's annoying. Yeah. I'm gonna just hover over here, like this area. Wherever you hover over with your cursor, it does things differently. So here's our track, our sequence. All right, each individual one. Again, I hold on Alt and mouse scroll. Okay, and you see this guy? You can also stretch it out or in, like that. And you'll notice this here has FX on it. Just ignore that, right? Okay, here we are. And then to play it, you'll press the space bar. And if it plays kind of slow and laggy, if you look here, this is the quality of the resolution. You know, at the lowest quality, it will play a little bit smoother, or it should play smoother. I'm gonna to play it, I'm gonna press the space bar. All right. So that, if you look here, that means it was 15 seconds long. It should be shorter than that because it's long because of the fact that I doubled up on the frames for that demonstration, remember? So, and also the animation is slower because of that, because it's holding for 2 frames. See how slow it is? Anyway, and you see this part here? That means that it loaded up the preview for it. I'm pretty sure that yellow. Alright, so we did that. And that's basically how you put your stuff in. And next thing I want to go over is, which I went over in here. Your image may be larger than the size. because when you take your pictures, chances are it's gonna be like 3000 something by 2000 something, the pixel size, your image size. But this here, this canvas is 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels, because that's just the standard format, full HD. So it's gonna be, chances are it's gonna be bigger. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Your images. So how do you scale your image down, right? So that it's so it fits. What you're gonna do is, and again, you know, this is not the best perfect example, right? But this is a process. You, for example, select your first image, okay? Again, I use this, kind of zoom in more. You select your first image, see? And it's holding for 2 frames, 1, 2, and then suddenly, then it changes, okay? You select it. Now you go to, you need a panel, which I purposely closed, because chances are you're not gonna see it. That we're all on the same page. You're gonna go to Window, right? And the panel that I'm looking for is Effects Controls. I'm pretty sure it's that one. Right, Effects Controls. Right, don't be confused with Effects. Effects Controls, right? Or this is the shortcut. And you basically, you're gonna click this open, and you have a whole bunch of crap going on. Let me just move this back. Right, it's kind of intimidating. It's highlighted in blue, whole bunch of like words and numbers. You're just gonna scale it, right? You're just gonna scale it. So let's say, just imagine, because right now it's perfectly fit, right? But imagine if yours is something like none of the scale. Here we are. Right, so from here, right? Open that up. Within that has scale. And then let's say, imagine that your image is something like, you see these boundaries to show us that it's going bigger, right? So imagine if your image is something like this big, it's way bigger, right? And my assumption is it will be about this big, because if your image is like 3000 something by 2000 something, it's going to be about pretty big, oversized, compared to the canvas of 1920 by 1080. And if that's the case, right, imagine, just pretend that this is it. You know, you have to scale it down, and ignore the fact that this is 147% larger. Yours is gonna say 100%, right? Because this is just a demonstration. And now from here, you're gonna left click on it, and you're gonna press and hold the left click, and you're gonna scale it. See? So you're gonna scale your image down, right? Imagine if it was oversized, and you're gonna scale it down. The name of the game is scale it down enough so that, but then you don't see this. The moment you start to see the black bar, you scaled it too much, right? You're gonna wanna just scale it so it's just enough, something like that, right? Right now I'm at 102%, but you're gonna want something like this where it fits just right, right? So you do that, okay? For the first image, okay, first image. Then after that, you're gonna go over your motion, right? You're just gonna left click on it, okay? For your first image, motion, see how selected, right? You left click here. Then you're gonna right click on it. You're gonna go copy, okay? Or you just do Control C. Just make sure this thing is selected, right? And you have the first frame selected. Then you're gonna go in here, okay? You're gonna select every other You're not the first one because that one's already made. You're gonna go to every other. Okay. And then you're gonna select that. You're gonna go all. You're gonna come on. You're gonna hold on Alt and mouse scroll. Okay. And then I'm gonna just drag select. And the order of operation doesn't matter. You're just gonna drag select, and then hold on Alt, zoom in, and make sure you don't grab the first one. From there, you're going to do Control V as in Victor. Alright, looks like nothing happened. If I zoom in and I select the second one, you notice the scale is at 102, which is what I scaled it down to. Okay, so you can see it, you can verify it. If it didn't work, it will just say 100. Alright, so your images will probably say the scale is set to a lower number, like I don't know, 75% or 50% or something along those lines, you know, smaller to fit. And every image will dictate that as well. All right, see, basically you copy and pasted the size into there, and that's basically it. As long as it fits and you don't see the black bars. All right, so that's basically that. Okay, so that was 26 minutes. I think I'll cut it out for now, right? Then you just go file, save. Yeah, and then we'll call it a day for that. And then I'll add you know, music, a title, things like that. Yeah. So okay, and that's gonna be the next video. All right, bye.